Hey, welcome back, guys. In this video, we're going to focus on the distributive property. Distributive property is just when you distribute a factor to everything inside a set of parentheses. And so in this case, it's telling you that A is distributed with B, and then A is distributed with C. All right, let's go ahead and get started so we can see how this looks. So we're distributing the 3 with the 4 and the 3 with the 2. So 3 times 4 plus 3 times 2. This will give me 12 plus 6, which will end up with 18. All right, well, this was pretty easy because it was strictly numbers. So let's do one with a area model. And so let me show you. So you were taught you could combine or simplify anything that's inside a set of parentheses, which is true. I left it like this. Instead of doing 6, I left it as 4 plus 2, and I have a rectangle. And so instead of the 6, you got the 4 and the 2, and you have a 3 on the side. So it's kind of visualized like a times tables chart. That is how I kind of explain it to my kids. 3 times 4 will give me 12, which is how we did it without the area model. And then 3 by 2 is 6. When you add them up, you still ended up with 18. Now, when you get to algebra, it's going to have some variables in it. All right, so let's show you what I'm talking about. So you have two groups of x plus 5. I'm going to distribute the 2 with the x, and I'll distribute the 2 with the 5. So 2 times x is 2x. 2 times 5 is 10. That's it. And so you can't combine anything because 10 doesn't have a variable of x. It's just a whole number. So you're done simplifying this expression. It's not an equation because it doesn't have an equal sign. All right, let's do a few more. In the first example, we're distributing the negative 4 to two terms inside the parentheses, so I'm going to use 2 arrows. You don't have to use an arrow. It's strictly up to you. Negative 4 times x is negative 4x. Negative 4 times 12 is negative 12. And then for the next one, it's distributing the 5. So you want to distribute that 5 to everything inside the parentheses. A lot of times when there's multiple terms inside a set of parentheses, sometimes kids forget to distribute all of them. And it's not because they don't know, it just gets kind of busy. So I recommend the arrows. 5 groups of 2 is 10. Then 5 times negative y is negative 5y. And then we're going to do 6 groups of a and then 6 groups of 7. So it's 6a plus 42. And so let's kind of recap. I got negative 4 because it's negative 4 times 1x. And then negative 4 times 3 gives me a negative 12. You can leave it minus 12 or plus negative 12. It's equivalent expression. And then the 10 came from 5 times 2. And the negative 5 came from 5 times negative 1y. So hopefully that's helpful. And then 6 times a gave me 6a. 42 came from 6 by 7. Or 6 times 7. All right, so the biggest thing, like I said, is forgetting to multiply every term inside the parentheses, especially when there's more than 2, and then wanting to combine like terms when that's not what distributive property is. So for this last one, I am going to show you how to distribute and combine like terms. So you're distributing the negative 2 with the y and the 3, and then you'll distribute the 4 with the 2 and the 4 with the negative y. So negative 2 times y is negative 2y. And then 3 groups of negative 2 is negative 6. I could put plus negative 6. It works the same way. 4 times 2 is 8. And then 4 times negative 1y will give me negative 4y. Now I'm going to combine like terms. I'm going to use some shapes. I'm going to put a circle around negative 2y. And then for negative 6 or minus 6, I'm going to put a box. Whenever you use shapes, you want to, or even combine like terms, that's really what we're doing. You want to include the operator. Shapes is not required. It's not even a teaching method. I just think it's helpful. So for plus 8, do we put a triangle? Do we put a circle or do we put a box around it? Well, since it's just a whole number and the negative 6 got a box, we'll put a box around it too. Finally, we have negative 4y. So that is a like term with the negative 2y because it has a variable of y and the same exponent, which there isn't one. It starts adding them in algebra. All right, negative 2y minus 4y is negative 2y. And then negative 6 plus 8 is plus 2. We're done. So in this case, we distributed and we combined like terms, and this is as far as we can go. Just keep in mind, all of this fancy words, it just means simplifying expressions. These are equivalent expressions. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe, or even drop a comment.